Good evening, good people of the snow. This is Ben from the Sawtooth Avalanche Center with your weekend update for Friday, January 28th, 2022. As a reminder, this is not intended to replace your forecast. This is just a supplement for the forecast, something to get you caught up on what happened in the last week and maybe help you plan a little bit for the weekend. Let's dive right into it. If you haven't been spending much time around here or you haven't been outside recently, you may not recognize this, but we need more snow with a please there at the end. It's been a while since we had much for snow in our neck of the woods, and it's starting to get a little bit grim out there. There are still good pockets of skiing and riding to be found, and I know some of you have been searching it out, but I think we can all agree that a little bit of snow would not hurt. All right, so this week, for the first time this entire year, our entire forecast area went to low danger. This happened on Wednesday, and that's where we're sitting now. We've got low danger across the board. From our far north region up in Banner all the way down south to the Soldier and Wood River Valley zone. A little different conditions in each zone. Read the forecast for more specifics on that, but triggering large avalanches is unlikely right now. Unlikely is different from impossible. Of course, read the forecast for more information. In addition to our area being at low danger, if we zoom back out, almost the entire western United States is at low danger. That's because we're in this little bit grim weather pattern. We've got a large blocking ridge that's keeping almost all moisture from entering our area, and it just is not snowing basically anywhere. So we're in good company. Everybody else is in the same boat that we're in, except for a couple of spots in Alaska there and down there at the Taos Island Center in New Mexico. So let's talk a little bit about what happened this past week. Leading into last weekend, we had our last storm event that we've recorded. Brought snow and some wind, mostly to our northern mountains, everywhere from Banner down towards the Salmon Headwaters. A little bit of snow around Galena Summit, and then significantly less as we trailed down. This is a photo taken up near Banner Summit, near Copper Mountain. You can see obvious effects of the wind. That combination of snow and wind brought about some human-triggered avalanches. There's three noteworthy events to talk about here. We had this slide that I triggered in the Sawtooth Mountains on a recreational ski day, intentionally triggered this with a ski cut, and it failed at the interface between that old and new snow and ran a couple of thousand feet down slope, not a small avalanche. We also had a couple of slides triggered by skiers and riders up near Copper Mountain, as well as a warm spring facet avalanche that occurred just a few days ago on the 24th when a skier was skiing steep terrain below the level of the inversion. The snow surface had been weakened significantly by the cold temperatures and the inverted temperatures. And it started out as kind of a small little avalanche and fanned out, much like you might see in storm snow, kind of a dry, loose avalanche. And those sorts of things are going to continue to be on that menu in that area for a while. Quick look at how much snowfall we've had this year. You can see where those lines are climbing. We're getting snow. That's a great thing. And then we've hit this absolute flat line for the last, half of the forecast season, starting in about the first week of January, leading through now the end of January. Fortunately, we got a bunch of that snow early, and that left us, we're still sitting above average here. We're in the 110 to 120% average at our stations. If you look here, that green line is the average over the last 30 years. The black line is this season, and you can see that flat black line kind of leading up towards that green line, which means we're decreasing and getting closer to the average every day. Fear not, we've got a little bit of snow on the way coming this next week, but when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. Here's the official weather forecast from the Pocatello Weather Service. It looks like we may see less than an inch down in the valleys, and also around an inch or two up in the mountains. That does not look very good to me. That's starting Sunday night and going into the day Monday, may linger for a little bit longer, but we'll see what happens. Here we are looking out to the end of kind of the long range models, and that also is not looking very pretty. Where the little cursor is in the middle there, it's saying 0.16 inches. That's 0.16 inches of water through the first half of February around the Galena Summit area. That's about 2 or optimistically 3 inches of snow. Not great. So when we're heading out this weekend, we're going to find a couple of problems, a couple of things to be thinking about. We've got these remnant hard wind slabs hanging around from last week's snow events. Unlikely to be terribly reactive, but where you're finding them in steep alpine terrain where they're sitting on icy faceted surfaces, you could run into an issue. We've got the potential for those small dry loose facet lanches down here in the Wood River Valley. particularly below the level in the inversions. Also potential for some small wet loose avalanches if it gets warm enough the next couple of days. And then don't forget about that weak snow near the ground that exists in many areas across our forecast zone, but it's really most problematic in the Galena Summit and Eastern Mountain Zone and in some of the upper elevation terrain here in the Wood River Valley Zone. What can you do about this? Well, there's not a ton you can do about it. We can't really control the weather, but we can control our own actions. So a couple recommendations for you: find somewhere new to explore, go out and check out a new drainage you haven't been to, pay attention to the slope angles, to the aspects that you're traveling on. Think about if there's going to be old snow near the ground there. Think about presence of wind slabs, possibility for either dry or wet loose avalanches, depending on the type of conditions that you're looking at. And let us know what you're seeing out there. You've been great at sending observations. We really appreciate that, and we hope you keep those coming. If you see an old crown, let us know. That's super helpful and helps us craft a more accurate forecast for everybody. Hope you guys all enjoy the beautiful weather that we've got on tap this weekend. It's going to be sunny. We're going to have inverted temperatures in the morning, and those will mix out during the day. Bring your sunscreen, enjoy your days, and let us know what you're seeing. We really appreciate it, and have a great weekend.